Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Lovish Raheja. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Lovish. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for inviting. Yeah, thank you, sir, for inviting me. I mean, it's pleasure to be here and really humble to know the attempt that you are making to, hear the young voices and getting them on the platform. Like Vidped is really interesting. The concept is really interesting. I'll tell as it's an open format, so I'll start by telling about my story and what message, what goals I have. Maybe that might inspire our viewers as well. So, first of all, I would like to introduce that I'm coming from a small town of Hanumangarh, Rajasthan. So I have done my schooling till my senior secondary from from there only, from Maharishi Dayanand Public School. From there on, so at that time, I used to be, first rank holder in my class, and and I had a vision of going into from very starting to going into the line of teaching and line of education. So that I had a dream of going into academy only because that life actually inspired me, and teaching others I really liked from my starting. Having said that, I though appeared for JEE mains to engineering examination just to check my skills, but yeah, so I qualified that, but still I pursued my dream of teaching only. I enrolled into PTT examination, which is a state level examination entrance into a B.Ed, Bachelor of Education in India. So basically, each state have its own admission entrance into a way of entrance into the structure of uh, admissions like into education into teaching line. So Rajasthan has an exam called PTET, which is for the entrance of a B.Ed candidate. So at that time, they had launched for the first time integrated B.Sc-B.Ed program, which means that you will study both your bachelor's and as well as teacher training will happen simultaneously. So this was a really good line for me because from starting I wanted to go into teaching, and this is what paved my way for that. So we applied for that, and we were the first batch of our university for the integrated B.Sc-B.Ed. Uh, I topped that examination from the state. Like I was the first rank holder in PTT in the whole state, and then actually that turned the whole thing around. I mean, that first rank or that getting a rank in that examination over a state level enabled me to enroll in any college of the state, and it will like cost me equally because it is government funded program. So that eventually led me to earlier I was planning that I'll do my college study in my hometown only, but because of this I could go into bigger college of affiliated to University of Rajasthan, which is in Jaipur, and that started my exposure one level ahead. Uh, Earlier, because I wanted to go into academia, but PhD used to be seemed to be a distant dream for me because hailing from a small town, there was no one who to look up for, particularly in the context of PhD. Now there are many, but earlier at that time there were no one. So getting that level exposure in Jaipur at my college, Parishkar College, that really so they have a structure of personality development camp from very starting. So what they do is that you can't enter the classroom until you undergo a personality development camp into a 3 day personality development camp that is totally in house in college. You have to stay in the college, and they will be having a lot of personality development activities that includes self confessions, that includes a lot of bonding activities like gaming following the ideals of, let's say, different personalities that we see. MK Gandhi, we have Swami Vivekanand, we have Abraham Lincoln. All those people, all those stories are told, our insights are taken, And then that 3 days was really transforming. I really feel that most of the colleges, in country should have that paradigm of, once, because people are specifically, I would say, tier two, tier one colleges, where people are coming from a, small background, small city background. If colleges have those personality development programs, let's say that 3 day rigorous program eventually helps us to sustain a major part of the next life. So, I mean, because we were new to college, otherwise, there would be issues with, living alone, living without family for the first time. But that personality development camp, we actually developed a good bonding. We had that, spirit to ask help to each other, help each other, otherwise also. So that really smoothened the way for me for the graduation part. In during graduation, I got good, mentors or advisors. In undergrad in India, there is little culture of research, except for few top tier colleges. But in our college, that was there, and from first year only, we I just after joining, just after 1 month after joining, I was presenting my I'm small article in an international conference. So which was a totally turnaround. So because the college has enabled that opportunity for us. Gradually, as I went into that stream, I explored more of myself into the research domain, because we started almost every other month we were going to some national or international conference, and that were giving really a great exposure to what is happening around, what are the key topics, where people are researching, where academia is going, because these conferences are not only meant for uh, just for exchange of research, but it also helps you, what are the criticalities, what are the issues that are, in the education system itself, and then at a broader level. So at that time, because my program was mixed B.Sc-B.Ed, so we used to research generally in two lines. One is that educational research, which is assessing some, let's say, implication of information and communication technology to education, or let's say, evaluation systems in education, how they can be improved. When national education policy came, we did a thorough analysis of that and found out the key things, that key issues, as well as the strategies that are in that domain. On the other line, we also used to do environmental research, because most of the conferences that we used to attend were on the environmental theme, and we were used to prepare for that. And in that sense, we got a inclination that this is the next big thing, specifically concerning the crisis that we see today: pollution, biodiversity loss, and climate change. This is very crucial topic to address. Gradually, these two parallel streams, environment at one side, education at one side, uh, I just I started parallelly exploring these two fields. We wrote papers in both the domains. And then later on, when it came to nearing my graduation, I realized my interest more in the environmental science side of it. And then although I did my graduation physics, chemistry, maths, and teaching specialization, of course, but later on it shifted to I chose environmental science as a domain for my masters, because it's an interdisciplinary domain. It welcomes everyone, and that's the best part of it, because environmental science students actually need that interdisciplinarity in them. In our batch only, some people are from where I did my master's from Terry School of Advanced Studies. So some people are coming from economics, some people are coming from core forestry, some people are coming from, let's say, botany background. People like me are coming from physics, chemistry, maths only. So we had a diverse set of people where we used to interact on different issues, and that really develops an understanding of how the systemic change required that interdisciplinarity, and that actually got nurtured while I was doing my masters. I had a chance to be a I got to be gold medalist in my master's program as well, from environmental studies and resource management. During that time at Terry, then the Energy and Resource Institute. I did my master's in Terry School of Advanced Studies, and then I also did my internship with the NGO, the Energy and Terry, which is the sub-head organization of it. We got exposure to the domain of environmental education. So I was working in the domain of sustainability communication, strategy and communication. So this is something that eventually the parallel fields that I was exploring, both environment and education, got merged together. And my thesis, which was a unique one, on environmental education. So, how my previous experience got started merging into this domain. Later on, I during this exploration, what we really got stuck off is the problem of air pollution. Living in Delhi, of course, Terry School of Advanced Studies in Delhi, so we were in Delhi. That experience was anyways there, and also even in Jaipur. So when we see that the WHO guidelines and then compare our pollution statistics across both the Jaipur, Delhi, and all the tier one cities we see. That was clearly a concerning problem, and we really wanted to work for it. And so my thesis would had also a flavor of air pollution side of it. So air pollution related education to people, how can that be tackled? So that together was a really great experience. I mean, in terms of my career, like what I have to choose, what I have to contribute to, and what is the problem I have to solve. I started, my some of my studies I have published in the domain of air pollution as well. But then, while I was doing my masters, so then there was, I decided to go for a PhD. During my masters, I got placed in a corporate. But however, later because I had more interest in academia, so I just backed out, and I chose to be with the academia, and then I started applying for PhD. So I got PhD during my final semester. I mean PhD admission only during final semester only. So that was a great relief that I had not to take any gap. Meanwhile, I also cleared UGC NET JRF, which is an examination which funds you for doing your PhD. So my PhD funding comes from the government. So that's one relief. So and then getting into PhD admission right away after masters. Although continuing academia, people suggest that you should have a break and then join academia. I mean, as a PhD, but for me, it was a continuous cycle. So I was applying for fields of air pollution only. I mean, most of the universities I applied to IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur, IIT Hyderabad, and even IIT Bombay, IITB-Monash Research Academy, where I'm currently. So most of the places I had opted for, my proposal was related to air pollution. But what later comes is something different. So, you know, that was one side when I was working on air pollution, and then so I got admission into four. I got offer letter from four IITs. I mean four institutes: IIT Kanpur, IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, and IIT Bombay Monash Research Academy. So I had these four offer letters with me while just I was doing my about to complete my master's. But then I had to take a choice. Then all the other programs were actually offering the similar air pollution related things, which I was really willing to work on start from starting. But what really brought me to IITB-Monash Research Academy is a different thing, because I consulted with my supervisors, mentors throughout Terry and my graduation college. So we found that in this program, IITB-Monash Research Academy, we have a greater exposure to the issues. Currently, I mean, other IITs, we were having engineering departments, so core engineering related matters. But here in management, we have a breadth of issues to cover. So we realize that it prepares us for life, not only for the let's say a specific discipline. And that really and scope of this PhD is much wider than the others that I got. There is also an opportunity of international exposure because we get some time to spend in Monash University, Australia. So these two universities, IIT Bombay, Monash University, I mean, both of them are really amazing. I mean, top university of India and then top university of Australia. We have guides from both, and we get to know the differences. We get to know the approaches. So that really helps you to analyze. When you are in future in similar position, what things you have to prioritize. I mean, it was really interesting to see how both IIT Bombay and Monash University how resource wise they differ. It's IIT Bombay and top college in India. So, from the country perspective, it has the best resources. But from a global perspective, it's still a bit behind in terms of the resources that it offers. For example, I'd say the access to research papers and access to uh, the software. While Monash University has much wider database, much wider resource access. Of course, that comes to IITB. I think is evolving and will later on achieve that part. But it's really amazing to see how the both system parallelly work. We are being part of it. How we juggle throughout. There is approach and difference of research as well. One focus that you know there is focus on methodological rigor. There is focus on practical applications. All those areas also quite critically differ. Uh, During this part, we also get to I also got the opportunity to in Terry only I got the opportunity to be a part of UNEP United Nations Environment Program, major group of children and youth, and there is a working group which is now independent, Chemical and Waste Youth Platform. So this is a global platform where I just started engaging with the you know internationally with people on the working on the issues on chemicals and waste pollution, and where we realized that how globally these issues are challenging, and then where and how why youth mobilization in particular is needed. So I also work on now as a part of it. I also work on the youth mobilization side of it, which is really, interesting to see how youth from different communities, try, the communities from small islands, communities from Indian communities, from indigenous communities, other countries community. So there is a wider understanding that opens up, like starting from a small town to coming here and then going international is really enlightening journey to particularly to incorporate those values of inclusivity. I mean, that really sparks me out for and humbles me down, because the opportunities where we always like I always chose to go with flow, like whatever is coming, let's say, what can we do, so that brought us to. So you see, first of all, coming from sports science to environmental studies, an interdisciplinary program, then to management, which is another dimension change. So I think all of this is really preparing me for life, to enter into various domains of life. And yeah, I mean, there are many things to say, but I think, yeah, I mean, really, this is really what, you know, inspires me. But just was last. So, as a part of, as I work in the sustainability domain, so I'd really like the youth listeners to really think of it, how how you can integrate sustainability in day-to-day practices. For example, choosing low emission fuels, choosing to walk instead of using your transport, segregating waste, supporting sustainability initiatives, volunteering. Even at international platforms, we require a lot of volunteers, and that gives you a great exposure. So it not only adds value at one part to your CV, because it's you also get to some volunteering position is a position of responsibility, but also to contribute significantly to the issues, to the debates that happen at global level. So when we engage in these platforms, just like as UNEP-MGCY or IYCN, we get to prepare some inputs which directly goes to, let's say, conference of parties, which is just happening right now. So our inputs are like getting channelized there, and that's what you really want. Like, what you think and what as a collective youth you think should channelize to the highest level for into policy making. So these are the avenues that provide you that platform, and anyone is, and they are open to get volunteering from any part of the world. Like, you just go search UNEP-MGCY, you search Youngo, which is a youth constituency of UNFCCC. So you just can, without any intervention, you can just directly be a volunteer. You have to dedicate, let's say, 3 hours per week or something like that. And if you consistently do so, you get recognized, you get opportunities to engage, you get stakeholdership, you get badges from, let's say, NGOs to represent them into events like COPE as well. People are going right now. Our colleagues are going right now. So all those things, really matter. So yeah, currently I'm in the area of circular economy in the food supply chains. So that also has, so you'd see that environmental essence has always been there, that academic essence has always been there, that you know curiosity for learning has always been there. All the dimensions, disciplines, all of them have differed throughout. So I think, yeah, that's my journey of, yeah, it. So you are muted.
Yes, I'm so proud of you. I was born in Alwar.
Oh, great, sir. Nice
And
to.
grew up for some years in Jhalawad and then Bikaner and then
Ah,
Ajmer and finally to Jaipur, which is sort of where I grew up in 1958. Late 1958, we moved to Jaipur. So I had already finished first standard, second standard class in Bikaner, Ajmer, Jhalawad, too young to do anything. So I'm really proud to see someone from, it's in Ganganagar district, right? Hanumangarh?
so now they have separated. Earlier, it's a part of Ganga. It was a part of
Yeah, but
Ganga
I'm
district.
talking from the old days. So the
Yeah,
Hanumangarh
in
is now a
1990.
district, right?
Yeah, Alwar is now a district, and 1994, Ganganagar and Hanumangarh were separate districts.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I remember Hanumangarh from my times. It's a part of Ganganagar district. So,
Uh-huh.
of course, Ganganagar district, for people who don't know, is really geographically a part of Punjab. It's not a desert
Yeah,
at all. It's a lush green uh,
true.
part of Rajasthan. So people say Rajasthan is a desert state, but you come from that part which is lush green and grows a lot of wheat. It is not desert at all. So I just thought I'll say that, look, I'm so proud. And then, of course, I grew up in Jaipur. I was in Xavier's Jaipur for high school. And Jaipur is still my hometown. So I was in Jaipur in February and March of this year. My family goes, we go to Jaipur. That's our home base. So really proud to see somebody coming forward from Hanumangarh. And you are not the first person in this program with Monash that I have had a Vidped with. There was another person, but in economics. Okay, so I think you will go to Monash soon, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, it's planned in Jan 2026 around. So, currently second year. We generally go in 2.5 to 3.5 years. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great university. Uh, I know a little bit about Australia, not too much, but it's a great thing to go there. And, I heard this student talk about how things were in Australia. And it really gives you such a good perspective, which you cannot get by staying alone in India. Just as that when you move from Hanumangarh to Jaipur, it's a big change. And when you move from Jaipur to
True.
Delhi, it's a big change. And when you move from Delhi to Mumbai, it's another big change. And then when you
True.
go
That
to
has.
Australia, and I'm sure you'll attend some international conferences and so on. So I'm really proud of what you have achieved. And it's great to see somebody from a town whose name nobody knows. Even people don't know Ganganagar, but at least Ganganagar is established long back. And
Yeah.
Hanumangarh was just a part of Ganganagar district.
Sure.
And so now, of course, Rajasthan has what, 50 districts?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, it used to be 30 districts, but now it's 50. So everything is in a district now. Okay, good. So anything else you want to add here?
Just a message that I think as I summarized last. So let's pursue our essence. If you feel like your heart permits you to pursue academia, pursue academia. Your heart, wants you to be curious, but be flexible with the means.
Yeah.
Your goal should be, one that is fixed, but then you should be flexible with the means, and that would take you to the best of your life.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Lovish. It's just a pleasure. The whole idea of this channel was that my hunch that young Indians today are very good, better than we were because we had no facilities. When I was your age, I didn't even know there's a university called Monash, right? So we were ignorant in those days because there was no information available. But today, you have taken full advantage of the availability of information and made yourself world class. And my feeling was that Indian society doesn't give young people a chance to talk. And that's wrong. We should give them a chance to talk and listen to them. So this is the reason for this channel. And it was just based on a hunch. And you have just validated my rationale for this channel. That look, if you will give the young people a chance, you will hear what they are doing, what they are thinking, and they are doing a lot. It's not like they are sitting back and doing nothing. They're doing a lot. And you think, oh, what can they do? I say, well, they're going to change the face of India. That's what they're going to do. So good. So thank you so much. Let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye, everybody.